some young people who are house helps, and their mind, the way they're able to absorb around their environment, it's amazing. And we in Ogun State are quite particular. We want to give every child the opportunity so that the greatness that we're known for, we don't lose it by making them hawk bread and hawk sweets when they're probably maybe they're the ones that God has endowed to find solution to AIDS or cancer, and they are there on the street selling bread. So the ministry is going to be a bit tough on that, but we will give everybody a long rope. We will ensure that we carry out our public enlightenment programs. Right. I hope you are not involved in this.
So too. All right then, what is it about this children parliament thing that your ministry is trying to bring up now, so that we can get to use this as a medium of enlightening the public and see how they too can be part of this program?
Well, the children's parliament has been inaugurated in all the other states of Nigeria. Like I said, it's a United Nations thing. It's not an Ogun State thing. Even there's a federal parliament for children. And I'm also proud and happy to announce that our candidate, all states of the federation will send in parliamentarians to the federal house. And I'm happy to announce that the two children we sent in from Ogun State, one from the Baptist Boys High School and the other one from from Louisville in Ijebu-Mushi, they both emerged victorious, because it's quite interesting. When they go for this parliament, they have to come, write their own manifesto, campaign, lobby to be made no, they're senators, but they campaign, the lobby to be put either in the Senate or House of Rep. Our own girl actually is the Deputy Senate President for the Children's Parliament in Nigeria. And she lost by just a few votes to her counterpart from another state. And she's entitled to a few things, like she's a senator. She's to be called and addressed as a senator, as you would address a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The other person from the Baptist Boys High School actually got into the House of Representatives and is also a chairman of one of the subcommittees. So Ogun State didn't do badly at all.
Okay, what would be the criteria for getting this candidate?
Oh yes, I'll come into that. Up until now, what used to happen was that the ministry would just nominate the two children that we're asked to bring. But this time around, we said no. We're going to ensure that we send the best of Ogun State. So because we had like only 36 hours notice or thereabout to get them to Abuja, we had to, from the march past that was held, recall from memory the schools that the presentation wasn't too bad. So that was a rush affair, but we ensured that we got in touch with the principals and we said, send us the best of your students. They must be articulate, they must be brilliant and all of that. And they must be from Ogun State. So that was the criteria we used for that one, because we didn't have too much time. For the Children's Parliament now, the criteria we're using is that we actually worked in conjunction with the Ogun State Ministry of Education. We wanted them to, the parliament is made up of 26 children, and we now said, and according to the law setting it up, the children must all come from, they must represent the 20 local governments of Ogun State. So what we did was to work in conjunction with the Ogun State Ministry of Education, and what Ogun State Ministry of Education did was to set up a panel headed by my good self, and we got in about 40 children, 2 per local government, from all the nooks and crannies of Ogun State. We set up one fine morning at the Women Development Center, and we interviewed them. We gave them topics to be debated. We saw their appearance, their attitude, the way they are dressed and all that. And at the end of the day, we got 20 of them. But the law also says that it is not just brilliant children that must be included. We must give room for handicapped children,
Okay.
challenged children, blind, on the wheelchair or something. And so that's how we did it. That's how we got these 26 children. By tomorrow, they'll be lodging at the Gateway Hotel in Abeokuta here. They'll be introduced to the rules and regulations of being a good parliamentarian, how to address the House, how to speak, how to represent yourself, how to present your issues, how to come up with, and how to carry out the elections. Because we are not in a position to determine for them who their speaker will be, who the majority leader will be, who anybody would be. What we need to do is just to set the ball rolling. The clerk of the Ogun State House of Assembly will come in to train them. And they will also be taught how to prepare their manifesto. They will be taught how to prepare their posters. They will campaign, they will lobby.
Yes,
And
so
there are 7 positions to be filled.
Okay.
But UNICEF is paying for all of this. I was at Nasarawa about 2 days ago for the National Council of Women Society meeting, and the parliamentarians of Nasarawa State actually came to address us. And the Speaker of the House actually came to address us, quite articulate. So we are also looking forward to having a good parliament like it has been done in all the other states. But we are going a step further. We're going to ensure that they are properly groomed when they come out to meet the governor on Thursday, which is the day of the inauguration at the Valley View. Everyone is invited. We're going to ensure that they're well turned out. We don't care where they're coming from. Either they're poor, they're rich. We're trying hard in the ministry to ensure that all children appear alike, in the same traditional outfit, well groomed, articulate, and by Wednesday night they'll be choosing their speaker and choosing all the other elective positions. So I'm sure you'll soon have the speaker, the junior speaker, on your program one of these days.
Yeah, we look forward to having it. And by virtue of the fact that you want them to appear the same, I think that will go a long way to reduce some kind of complex that may arise as a result of their dress sense. But what really is the age limit, and what is the basic objective of them being a parliamentarian?
Well, like I said, we didn't set the rules.
Okay.
We're dealing with international rules here.
Right.
And they have to be between the age of 10 and 18. So we have ensured, and of course there has to be an equal mix of boys and girls. At this level, we're trying to ensure that we have 50% for the women. I mean, I'm a mother and I'm a woman, so I have to ensure that it's higher than what we normally get.
I can understand you, but see the women affairs. Right.
So, yes, it's to remove any form of complex. Because a lot of the children also, what we have done is to ensure that they're from public schools, so that there are not privileged children who just come. We want a feel of every child. We want to be able to get into the mind of every child. We want to be able to access and give confidence to every child. They're going to be called honorables. And you know, we have to teach them what it means to be honorable. Only yesterday, the governor was actually talking about mentoring. You know, they've got to have role models they can look up to. They've got to be able to confidently approach other people. So we're not looking at whether they are rich or poor.
Right.
You know, but let me just quickly give you the names of our representatives.
Okay. And
the deputy.
Just add, what you intend, what you want them to achieve after the exercise. I know it's not going to be for eternity. It's going to be for a period of time, isn't it? So,
yes.
What you hope they will become after the exercise?
Okay. The deputy Senate President for the Federal Republic of Nigeria is Senator Joke Jaguna. She's, I think, an SS1 student of Louisville Girls School at Ijebumushi. And our representative in the House of Reps, who is the chairman of one of the committees, he's Abiodun Raji. He's from Baptist Boys High School here in Abeokuta. And for you to know the seriousness that is actually attributed to this, the Senate President, the junior Senate President, is actually entitled to a car and an Audley. You know, and it's not. A few people I've spoken to have actually laughed. They think it's a joke.
Yeah, what a life.
But believe me, it is not a joke at all. I envy them because they're starting off early enough. And then you want to know the duration. I think it's for a year.
Okay.
But they get to meet, they must meet at least 3 times a year during their holiday. And just like bills are sent to the House of Assembly, they move their own motions, they debate hotly about issues, and they make their representation.
All right, then. We're talking about young parliamentarians who make bills. I don't know how far that is going to be. But we'll just take a short break now. After the break, Roundtable will continue.
You're very much on to another edition of our current affairs program, Monitoring Democracy.
It is not the NSU that is saying others should not be part of them.
Therefore, they don't have the moral courage to demand their rights.
The blame should be put at the footstep of the government.
If I issue out my circular, if you like, you obey. If you like, you don't obey. Stay out.
Any nation that is unable to feed its people can hardly claim to be a nation.
You're welcome back to the studios. It's still Roundtable coming to you live from the studios of Gateway Television. We have Folake Marcos Bello in the house, the State Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Welfare. And we are talking about the Children Parliament that is supposed to come up any moment from now, on Thursday, I guess.
Yes, but right. they start checking in tomorrow.
I see.
And they start lobbying, they start making their posters and their manifestos.
Okay, you were just talking about start checking in, and of course you said some of the things that goes with it is that the Senate President will have
yes, the Senate President
will have the privilege of having a car.
A 406, not just an ordinary car.
Yeah, so is that car going to be a takeaway thing?
No, that will be determined by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Okay.
The Senate President is being looked after by the federal government. But our own Deputy Senate and all that, Ogun State will look after the Deputy Senator and the member of the House of Rep. And our own Speaker, we will also look after our own Speaker. You know, I know the governor is magnanimous and he will give something that is worthy of that office to our Speaker. But whatever it is, I don't know yet.
All right. Just to tell our viewers at this point that you too can be part of this discussion. You can make your own contribution via the phone. The number will be displayed on your TV screen, and you can ask 1 or 2 questions that are germane to the development of the children in Ogun State and indeed Nigeria. And from what you've said now, I want to think aloud. A situation where you give all the necessities of life to a young boy or girl, and wouldn't it look as if you are trying to create a tall dream for that child, which of course in essence after a year, you know, you're going to strip him off some of this, the office and the luxury. What would you say to that?
No, they don't get any luxuries. They're not on salary. They're not on anything other than they come meet.
But the status in itself.
Oh, I'm sure. No, I'm sure for life they get to keep the tag before their name, either senator or honorable. Do you understand me? But the most important thing is to bring out the children, to ensure that we are catching them young, to ensure that within the year they're able to build their confidence to be able to live in the society. It's not a luxury. It's not a luxurious thing.
Okay.
It is just a way of bringing out the children, giving them the confidence, giving them a head start, if you want to say that.
Right.
And also, it is important that the children are heard. Adults are busy with their own problems. We have so many stresses and so many problems that we sometimes may forget. The children are actually, to a large extent, restricted to discussions based on children affairs. So it's not for them to go and be worrying about things that do not necessarily concern them.
Okay, what becomes of the bills they pass?
Oh, one of them actually became the Child Rights Act. You understand me?
Okay.
It emanated from a collection of ideas and discussions which the children put together at one of the national parliamentarian meetings. So it's a way of getting at the children. It's a way of ensuring that they feel a part of the system. You know, the bills don't get thrown in the dustbin. They pass their own act, and they can also take it to the House of Representatives and to have it passed into law. So it's not
Okay, I guess we have someone on the line at this point. Let's see if we can just get through now. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. This is from Lagos.
BC, you say?
From Lagos.
Okay.
From Lagos.
Okay, please make your contribution.
I have to thank the Honorable Madam sitting on the Roundtable. I want you to put it to continue on it because I had the opportunity when I was in Lagos Methodist. Because I came from a poor family, I lose the opportunity. Please, ma, continue on this so that the alignment will go right. And you have to tell the children to not have to behave in the public. Not to just give them the opportunity and after sometimes they will lose the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I guess some of the things you're saying is more of appreciating what you are doing now. But I just want us to take a look at a situation where you can use this kind of privilege situation to ensure that some other children who don't have that privilege, you kind of extend it to them to kind of build a strong character in them, even if they are not a parliamentarian. You know, those in schools, what other programs would you have to reach out to these ones?
Let me just tell her thank you very much, and to let her know that if you bring up one child properly, that one child will be able to affect other children. So if we're going to have 26 children from different local governments of Ogun State, one per local government and some extras, we're hoping that in marketing, they say if you're able to reach one person, you times that by 7. So with 26, it will be like 26 times 7. That will be the immediate ripple effect. But I can assure you that it will not end there. We're going to encourage the schools they come from to expose them as much as possible. And of course, the Ministry of Education look for children with character. So the children themselves are going to portray. So we're hoping that the children will not just affect their immediate environment, they'll be able to affect other children. And we're going to monitor them. We will monitor them.
Okay. Hello, good afternoon. Okay, we just lost that. So what other activities do we hope to see from these young ones as soon as you get inaugurated come Thursday?
We're not just going to concentrate our energy on these 26 children. Just about 2 months ago or a month ago, we also had a celebration of the African child. And believe me, what the ministry does now is to ensure that whatever program we have for the children, we do it in such a special way that we impart on them for life. The children actually came around the office, they saved up their pocket money and made a presentation to me to thank me that they've never had it so good. And what I was able to tell them is, no, don't come to me. Make sure you affect one other child as you go. So instead of affecting only members of your club or children that took part in the Day of the African Child, ensure that you carry along another extra child. So we have several programs. We're not just going to concentrate on parliamentarians. There are only 26 of them. How far can they go? But we will try as much as possible to give as many children as possible a chance. And even now in our ministry, we're just not restricting it to children that are okay. Our remand home, we're giving a facelift. The children there, we're not treating them as street children. We know that we pick them off the streets, but they're children. They belong to someone. Either we pick them off the dustbin or we pick them off the street. So we're looking after them and giving them a home environment. You never know. I'll tell you this. About a month ago when I went visiting, I went on a trip and brought back chocolates for the children. I'm sure some of them may never have had chocolates in their life. But let us keep doing this. You know, now once a week they get ice cream, they get to drink custard. We want to thank the Ogun State governor for providing money to look after these children. And I was told that one day a man drove in a Mercedes E-Class with round eyes, top range man, and he told the warden at the home that he cannot believe that he also had lived here before as an inmate And the warden said, no, it's not possible. And he said, okay, go and bring your roster and look at this particular date. You will find my name there. Here is my card. And believe you me, the man's name was there. He said, I lived here for about a year, but I've been able to make a success of my life. So our own attitude at our ministry is every child is important to us. And by extension, the same thing goes to our motherless homes. Of course, we need support from the public. If you have things to hand over to the children, please don't hesitate to bring them to us. It can never be enough.
We can
but
go
every
on
child is
I think
important.
I would like to take more of the people's contribution.
All right then.
See who is on the line here. Hello, good afternoon. Okay, I lost that person again. All right, some of the problems we experience in the society, whether that of encouraging child labor or sending the young ones who are supposed to be in school to make some money for the parents, have been blamed on the fact that I want to quote the UN Department of Economic and Social Affairs estimate that 2/3 of the world's 876 million illiterates are women, and these are the ones that are closer to the young ones. And if we want to eradicate such problem, how do you think we can really go about it?
It's empowerment. We need to empower women. And I'm also proud to say that the Ogun State government is trying its best. But the resources are... Okay, I think we have another caller.
Yes, yes. Hello, good afternoon.
But the resources are limited. Right now, I'm reading a book about the Bangladesh experience, the Garment Bank. And it is something I'm sure by the time I'm through with, Ogun State government would like to copy. But it is money. Once you are able to empower a woman, she definitely will not want her child to be illiterate. She definitely will not want her child to go into early marriage. She definitely will not want her child to go into child labor. And if the child has to go into child labor to help the mother, she will ensure that it will be after school, you know. So when you educate a woman, you actually educate a nation. But illiteracy or not, I'm not disputing the UN statistics, but illiteracy or not, women are all out to educate their children. You know, with every passing generation, in any family, you discover that more and more people are willing to send their children to school.
Hello, good afternoon. Well, the lines are just getting nutty now. We will just go on. There are other situations where in a family, the father and the mother are always out trying to make ends meet, and all they want to do is to ensure that they have enough money to train these young ones. But on the overall, it seems that some of this money will not be too prominent, because the young ones are left to, you know, have peer group pressures and some of the... Well, we seem to be having a call. We'll just take that if we... Hello. All right.
Yes,
parenting should be more than just raising the children. So
you see, no matter the... I don't agree that because you have economic stresses, you don't send your children to school. You're going to have more problems. Let us take it that what the Bible says is 70 years on the average. If you calculate how long you need to be in school for you to enjoy the rest of your life, it's less than 1/3 of your existence. Primary education, at least, is free. So parents don't have any excuse about that. And they don't go reading encyclopedias at primary school level. So if you go into a public school, you're not likely to be looking for so much money to buy books. So I disagree with anybody who does not send his or her child or ward to the minimum of primary education. Perhaps when it comes to secondary education, we may be talking of economic problems. But the truth of the matter is that I don't see the excuse that parents have. There are several schools just by the house now. You don't have to go kilometers upon kilometers for you to be able to access education. So if parents are really serious, in Nigeria today, if they lose a father or they lose a mother, it's not a problem to bury in grand style. Either in the village or in town or anywhere, Nigerian women and men are gorgeously dressed. The cheapest outfit will probably be about 2,000 naira. You know, for you to educate your child at free primary and free secondary education, if they are serious, they can do it. All they need to do is do away with some other things and get on with educating their children. So that's it.
Now, okay, we seem to have someone on the line now. All right. Well, I was just trying to refer you back to the role model thing. We observe in the society today that we have a lot of negative influence coming from either parent, stakeholder, guardian, or some people in the who occupies public offices, because these young ones, as educated as they are, they read the papers, they see a lot of things. You know, don't you think this will kind of negate some of the things government is trying to correct in the society, especially in these young ones?
It's not a national problem. It's not a state problem. It's an international problem. All over the world now, it's so difficult for children to find people who can mentor them. But they still exist. In communities, they still exist. The people they need to copy, or people who they need to mentor, don't necessarily have to be the richest in the society. They don't necessarily have to be the most successful in the society. So we're looking at the character, we're looking at the person, we're looking at their achievement, no matter how small. So when you're taking children through mentoring, it's not necessarily that they must look for, oh, he has 20 cars, oh, he's able to fly out at the drop of a hat. People of sound character, and they still exist, even now.
Our line is engaged once again. Let's see who is there. Hello, good afternoon. Hello.
Oh.
Okay. I guess our technicians should just help us to check this line. It seems a lot of people are trying to contribute to the program. We have someone else. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Yeah, you are a lucky one.
Good afternoon. I'm calling from Ibadan.
Your name, please?
Precious.
Precious from Ibadan. Please make your contribution.
What about the people that are not opportune to go to school, maybe around that 72, 76, and other things like that? They are not opportune to go to school, but now, free education, we have free education, yes, good and fine. But what about people that are not opportune?
Will that be your contribution?
Yes.
Okay.
Patience, I'm sure.
There's a kind of misconception there.
Yes, I'm sure Patience is a young girl. And Patience, you're wrong, because as early as 1972, people have actually, I got free education to a level. I started primary school in 1966, and I know from 1966 to 1972, I was in primary school. I enjoyed free education. 1972, it was the choice of my parents to send me to a private school. But I know that there were secondary schools under the UPN that offered free education. So Patience, but let me tell you this. If you have missed it, if you didn't have the opportunity of going to school, or you know people who didn't have the opportunity of going to school, there's always a fresh start. It's never too late. You can go to evening school, or you can be in a vocation and still make the best use of your life. It's never too late. There are people abroad, and there are some people in Nigeria now who get their first degree at about age 60. The books are there, and you can always go back. Patience. I want to encourage you, or encourage your friend, or encourage whoever you're asking this for, that there can always be a fresh start.
All right, I hope that is taken. We'll just see who's on the line once again. Okay, I guess some kind of deception there. Well, parents, government, even teachers in some of these schools are supposed to be the primary protector of each child's rights. They're talking of health, education, intellect, personality, and all that there is. But in the present sense today, these are enormous challenges, and it doesn't seem as if much is being done. I'm not talking about the state. I know the state is always pioneering some of these things. Okay, I've just been told that we should take a break now. Roundtable will continue after this time out.
The opposition has even been good, and it has diffused itself, into the the ruling political party. So
there's no gang up against us. It's rather we are ganging up against ourselves.
Everybody tends to portray the trait of larceny in him or her if there are no guards around.
the people can feel government closer to them. They can relate with that government, question the government if need be, sanction the government if need be, vote it out of power if need be, and then even, protest against that government if need be.
It's a live program. You may want to ask one or two questions, or you have one or two contributions you want to make on the program.
You're welcome back, and it's still Roundtable, and I go straight to the question I was asking earlier. Said the teachers, the parents, and of course government are supposed to be the primary protector of each child's right, which of course I mentioned the health, education, intellect, personality, and the fact character and emotional stability. But somewhere along the line, we've not seemed to be able to do this creditably well. How best can this be achieved to ensure that we have emotional stability in these young ones, bearing in mind that they are the next generation? They are the ones who are going to take over from the present leaders.
Well, the first and the most important thing will be the message to the parents. The school can only do so much. Parents have to understand and be confident enough of themselves that they can do it. And parents must make out the time to do it. My philosophy in life is that you can always create time for what you want to create time for. It depends on your priority. No matter how busy you are, you must take time out to spend time with your children. But what I have discovered from also being a busy person is to put the children post-primary into boarding facilities. That helps, because then they get a regimented life. But another important factor to that is that you must ensure that you take them you don't miss visiting days. And you must never be in a hurry on a visiting day, because they want you. They want you. And when it is holiday time, you also must spend quality time with them. Quality time does not mean you have to be there all of the time, but you must be around for them to be able to answer the questions. But the children will survive. We just need the love of the parents, not the school. It's the home that is the most important.
Okay. Hello, good afternoon. Oh, we just lost that. We'll take so much calls. You can still keep trying. Now we hope that you'll be fortunate to make your contribution to Roundtable. And the social welfare aspect of the ministry, what exactly are you doing at the moment, aside the Children Parliament program that you have now?
Well, under the social welfare department, we have, like I said, we have the motherless home. No, not motherless now.
Just a minute there. Let's see if we can get through to this call. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, your name and where you are calling from.
My name is Bayo. I'm calling from Ogun State.
Did you say Dayo?
Yes, she said Dayo.
Okay.
Like.
All right. Please make your contribution.
If a child, if a parent, if a parent don't take the child to school, and the child, anytime the child goes to school, the child doesn't go to school. The child is always playing at home. Is it the parent's fault or the child's fault?
Would that be all?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Dayo.
Thank you very much, Dayo, and happy holidays to all the children. Children are calling now because we know they're on holidays.
I see.
Dayo, it will not be entirely the fault of the child. Parents must, that's what we've been talking about, they must raise their children up properly. They must train them properly. They must ensure that they know what is right and wrong. And I will be surprised that a child will not go to school and the parents will not know that that child doesn't go to school. I suppose parents must go for open days. They must go and talk to the teachers. When they drop the children off at school, once in a while, they must go with them to their classroom and they must look at the report card of the child. But children, if you know of any of your friends that do not come to school and their desk is empty all of the time, do not hesitate to get the parents involved and to let them know. But parents, please don't be too busy. You must look in once in a while at school to find out how the children are doing. It is entirely the parents' fault in this case, Dayo, because they must ensure that they supervise their children. That's why the law says that you children are not adults until you are 18. You can't take serious decisions for yourselves until you are 18. So if you're a young child and you don't go to school and you hide in the house and your parents don't know that you don't go to school, then the parents are entirely to blame. Thank you. I hope I've answered your question.
All right. So much for Dayo. Let's see who else is on the line. Oh, we just lost that. Yes, I want to come to the use of abusive languages among the young ones, because it is often said that the child's first words and its pattern of speech usually learn from the mother, which of course the kind of closeness that is between them, and that is where the mother tongue issue came then, that you learn one or two things from the mother, but we find these days that parent themselves gets abusive. Instead of encouraging where necessary, commending, appreciating, they just flare off, and the child tend to learn some of these traits, and it goes on and on and on. And if it's radiating the society, we have all these things. So parents somewhere along the line don't know that they have contributed to some of the social problems we have. How really can one address this situation so that we don't have some of the antisocial vices that we have today as a result of the fracas in the home front?
No, parents are not entirely to blame here. I won't say that it's the parents' language. I would rather say that it is the influence of the media. There's so much violence on television. There's so much violence being reported everywhere. It appears, and it's beginning to appear, that when there's no violence in any news, it doesn't make good news. The most important thing is that we have to curtail and control the programs that we expose our children to, especially the international media. Now everybody goes on foreign TV, the musicals, the language in some of the lyrics they listen to. You need to sit down with it and hear it out. Parents also should watch what they say when the children are around them. And but I think it's the interference from the media. So I just want to appeal as the Commissioner for Women Affairs and also as a mother that you will be doing us a world of justice if your films, for example, are censored and the language is watched. But I don't think the Nigerian mass media is as guilty as their foreign counterparts. So parents should try to be there as much time as they can afford to spend with their children. But it's not really the language of the parents that is the problem now. It's the exposure to mass media.
Okay, what final word would you have to say now that the Children's Parliament Act is coming up, and as the Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Welfare to the general public before we bring the program to a close?
Well, I'd like to invite everyone to come to the Valley View on Thursday to help us inaugurate our Children's Parliament, and also encourage parents to take that day off if their child or ward is involved, to come and give encouragement to the children. It promises to be fun, it promises to be serious, and you actually can watch the children speak on behalf of other children of Ogun State.
Well, thank you very much. for those that are still trying to call, I can see the lines are really getting engaged, but it's unfortunate we cannot take any more calls because we have to bring the program to a close at this particular time. But I just want to say that the promotion and protection of the rights and welfare of the child also implies that everyone, as parents, guardian, must perform their own duties as well to ensure that we guarantee an atmosphere of peace, love and happiness for the young ones. And it is on that note that we want to say thank you very much for being part of the program, especially those that have called from Lagos, Ibadan, and of course Abeokuta. Roundtable will return Monday next week. On behalf of my producer and Bayo Olayemi saying good afternoon.
Wow. Thank you very much.